Hi all, welcome to Java Talent. In this today video tutorial, I'm going to cover how we can connect our Spring Boot applications with the MongoDB. Okay, so MongoDB is the NoSQL database, as you might be aware. Like, so this is the basically NoSQL database. Like, it stores the data in the collection format, and each collection will stores data in a document format. And in each document it is similar to be a one JSON object. If you like remember, like one JSON object, whatever we are doing our day-to-day life with our Java to JSON object. So basically one object in Java is equivalent to one JSON document in the MongoDB. So for example, I can say like if you have one JSON format example, and if you compare with that MongoDB database, it will be similar to that. Like how we can do that. Okay, so what is the NoSQL database? And so NoSQL databases are those who store data in the format other than the relational tables. So there is no any relationship between the tables here. If you see, these databases can store the relational data, but they store into the different than the normal relational database. So for example, there is a lots of NoSQL databases like MongoDB, Couchbase, Cassandra, HBase, Redis, React, Neo4j, CouchDB, etc. Okay. So SQL data models allow you to do that relationship by joining the tables. But on the other hand, NoSQL data models allow related data to be nested within a single data structure. So maybe some people in the industry is referring as the NoSQL stands for non-SQL, while other it is say that like it is stands for not only SQL. So what is the benefit of using NoSQL database? So there is some benefit, like it will be more flexible and scalable, faster, reliable, distributed, schema free structure. I can say that like simply API support for big data, etc. NoSQL can be performed better than the SQL relational database in our use case. For example, if you are using a document database and are storing the data into that object in the same document, so that the database only needs to go with the one place for those query. In the SQL database, if you see that like it will be joining the multiple tables and records, which can be dramatically impact the performance, because we have to do that relationship also between the tables. And for the drawbacks, what is the drawback of NoSQL database? I can see that like it could not support ACID property, which is atomicity, consistency, isolation, or durability. So it should not support this one, because you know that like there could be a multiple documents which we are performing, and single record atomicity is not possible for the lots of application with appropriate schema design. So further, MongoDB included support for multi-document ACID transactions from the release 4.0 to this address drawback. Okay, so from the 4.0 MongoDB, we can say that it will be functioning, it will be supporting the multi-document ACID transactions. As now SQL data models primarily focus to optimize the queries rather than reducing the data application. That's it. So let me see that like how we can create one simple applications for our connection with the MongoDB. And simple straightforward, I will go straight and define one simple example. So let me go and create one project for you. So I am giving the name as SpringBoot MongoDB example, if you see here. And this is the default package. I am going to use Spring Data MongoDB, and one I can say Lombok API. These two plugin, these two dependency, starter dependency, I am using this one for the today's example. So let it be complete the application. Okay, so if you see that pom.xml, you can see our dependency whatever we have added as MongoDB and Lombok to starter we have added. So if you see that Spring starter data MongoDB and Lombok, this is the two dependency, that's it, we have used it. And I can see like in the application.properties file, I have to use some specific configurations for our database connections for the MongoDB. So that could be spring dot data dot MongoDB host. There should be no, we have to provide the host name. So it could be localhost and spring dot data dot MongoDB dot port. So I have to provide the port number. So basically default port is 27017. Might be during your installation of the MongoDB, if you have changed, you need to provide that. So spring dot data dot MongoDB dot database. This will be our database schema name, whatever it will going to create. Or so here we am going to use the Java talent student. So this will be our schema name, that what I'm going to create. Okay, nothing else. That's it. For our configuration perspective, this is fine. So if you see that, like, I have to create one simple model class for the storing purpose. So let me create the package, and that model class will perform as the entity class, because the same I'm just going to store into the database. So I'm just going to create one package entity, and if you see, I'm going to create one class which is nothing but student class. Or let me do it in the way, like I can do book. Okay, so let it be book. So I'm going to create the book for now. You can take any example, no problem. At the rate data, if you see, this is coming from the Lombok API, and it will generate you the fields like such as getter, setters, and hash code. That's it. No argument constructor. I do not want to provide any constructor, and then all are constructors. No argument constructor and required argument constructors. Both I just wanted to be here so that I can use the required and all. This is the notation which is coming from the Lombok API, and then if you see, I'm just going to use the document. What this document will do is, this is coming from the, if you see here, this is coming from the MongoDB, and this document will basically, let me comment out here something. So it will maps our entity class objects to the JSON formatted documents. Okay, that's it. So for now, this is our document, and then I'm just going to demonstrate the field. I wanted the field to be private string ID, and this ID field I wanted to make as the primary key, so that you can use ID. Okay, so this will make our, let me comment it out, making this variable as ID will be primary key, basically auto generated by MongoDB, and this will be auto generated by MongoDB. Fine. Let me take one more field here, like what it could be, private string and book ID. Okay, so I wanted to be this field to be as non-null. Okay, so I can use the annotations here, which is non-null. Okay, so next is I wanted to be used private string book name, and next field is private string author name, and then I want to be one more field as price private. I want the amount should be as like this one. Okay, so all field I just wanted to make it as on non-null. I can use same annotations everywhere. Okay, that's fine. So our entity class is ready. Now I wanted to create the repository class, so let me create the package here, com dot java talent dot repo. So there is the one interface I have to create, like book repository, which extends basically the package called mongo repository. And if you see here, the type of your model class, which is nothing but book, and here the primary key. Okay, fine. So this is my repository class, which is ready, and now I have to create our runner class to test the application. That's it. So let me create the runner class, so I can create one more package here, com dot java talent dot runner. So I am going to create the class called book test runner. So this class will basically implements what it can be, command line runner, just for testing purpose. And just I wanted to make this class as our component class, so that our bin can be created from the SpringBoot applications. And now if you see here, it will be asking me to override the unimplemented method. So that's true. And there is the run method, nothing else. And before of that, I have to inject our runner class here. Not sorry, this is the repository we have to insert. So I have created the book repository, and that I can use here. Fine. I have to auto wire this one to utilized here. Fine. Now if you see, I just wanted to delete the first, if there is any data into that our collection, I just wanted to drop. So book repository dot delete all, I wanted to delete that first if there is anything. So removing old data from the DB, that's it. I can do it. Now I wanted to saving the book into the DB. Now I wanted to save the book. So book repository dot save all. I wanted to give multiple objects, like whatever the arrays dot as list. I wanted to give multiple objects of the book for the saving purpose. So let me remove this null check here, and I will create the object. So I wanted to be first object, like new book of here 101. This is our book ID. Book name I want as core Java, and author name I want as Kathy, and amount I want as 98.20. That's it. Fine. And now second one I wanted to be as, what is saying, remove match book. Okay, one second. What is it again? Book ID, book name, author name, and price. Book ID, book name, author name, and price. That's it. Fine. String double to O. It is expecting to be a string. Okay, so I have given it as book ID. I have given as, let me change back to integer. Fine. So first I have given as the string, that's why it is expecting to be a string value. You can take anything, like you can change here also, but I am changing that in the model class itself. New book of one book, more book I want, which is nothing but 102 advanced Java, and author name is like John, any name. I'm just taking a random name, 220.00, and like new book, one more book I want, 103, 103, and hibernate. Author name I'm giving is Gavin or something. Okay, 2.20. One more book I wanted to be as MongoDB book, because we are covering the MongoDB here. MongoDB, any name? Sakuntala Gupta or some name is there. Okay, Sakuntala Gupta. Fine. 100, 1500. Fine, that's it. Here comma is missing. Fine. Okay, might be we are given some different value. So this is the storing purpose, and then after saving it, I just wanted to print one message that our record has been successfully saved. Fine. So sysout data saved to MongoDB successfully. Fine. There is the one more concept I just wanted to highlight here. If you remember, book we have taken as a string value as ID, which is the primary value, and that has been generated from the MongoDB. So if I wanted to store some data into the database, I can change that primary generated value to our custom value. Means we can update this one value as the manual things. So let me do that. I wanted to insert one more record for the book, and for that book I just wanted to give my primary key, any primary name. So book repo dot save. Here I wanted to print give that book, and that will be here. I wanted to print some ISBN value. Okay, ISBN 1001. This is my ID, and the next thing is like here I have to give it as same value. I can use the 10 for anything, because this will not impact our existing value, because it is internally validating with this ID, not our given string book ID. So here author name I am giving as some Gupta again, and I'm giving it as 964.50. So this is the one additional object, and it will create with this ID. If I can show you the data from the database, I will highlight. So here I can point one comment like this will update ID, which is nothing but our primary key, manually. It is allowed basically. It is allowed here, not other database. This is allowed here. It will create one new record with these details. Okay, I wanted to print all the list to the console, so let me print that. Printing all books to the console. So list of book list is equal to, one second, book repository dot find all. There is the one method which we can use to do that. Just import the list, and then book list dot for each. So there is the multiple way you can print that. You can go through my video. I have just created a video today's, and you can see like how we can iterate our list or anything. You can see the right corner of the notification sections to this video, and you can go to that. So now this is ready, and let me run this applications quickly. If you see the console, see it what it is doing. See, data saved successfully. It is saving the data with our given ID. And if you see here, this is the ID. Like if you see, this is the automatic generated ID from the MongoDB. But if you see the last one, what we have given is the same value for this book ID 104. This is the custom ID manually what we have given. Let me open the MongoDB here for you. And if I can refresh, 1 second, reload the data, I can show you that like whatever the collections we have created. So if you open that one, okay, so our one is Java talent student. This is the book. So see, object ID, this one automatic generated 101 core Java Kathy, and then the price. This is the class is automatically populated from the MongoDB itself. Nothing to do it. It will highlighting your model class, which model class it is representing basically. So if you see that 102, 103, 104, I'm just wanting to curious about this one. And this ID is our manual setted ID. If you see our code, so this is the one what we have given, correct? So fine, this is all what I wanted to cover in the today's video. And if you want to for further updates, so like you can see that like next video I will going to cover that CRUD operations using the Mongo. And further in the next upcoming tutorial I will cover the Mongo template as well, like how we can use the Mongo template for this all the things. And in the upcoming next one more video I will create for the using the add that query, means how we can provide the query from our add that query. So please try to subscribe my channel and like my videos. If you are interested, I can give you some of the more details, more highlights. Please comment into the sections if you want particular video to be created for any topics. Yep, thank you.